Hi, happy Sunday. Hope everyone's alright. The kids are out trampolining, so I thought I'd have a little ramble, offload some bullshit while I'm here. And yeah, I finally feel like I'm pulling myself out of this energetic interference, this sludgery that's been happening for a couple of weeks. And yeah, it's all happened for a reason, and I'm working my way through it. But it's been really frustrating how I've not been able to stay present the last few days, maybe even the last couple of weeks, you know. I've been on autopilot and very much caught up in my own bullshit, what's going on in my head. So I'm really feeling the need to sort of own up to that part of me that quite often does that, you know. I've understood over the last couple of years how what I need to do is integrate into the body, you know, and not sort of further separate myself from my body and my reality and my surroundings, you know. I needn't be scared, and I needn't be in a victim mentality where it's like, oh, I'm the only one in the world who's going through such inner turmoil, nobody understands, and you know, it's all very victimy. So yeah, I've managed to sort of strengthen myself, and I'm really trying to sort of lean into the not scientific understanding of awakening or transcending or anything like that, but just giving weight to how I feel in terms of the electromagnetic nature of the realm and us, and you know, the heart field and what that gives off, and how we can measure that now as well. And you can measure your brain waves and yeah, wave functions and what we give off, and how we are essentially just light. And yeah, so I like to sort of lean into that when things are getting a bit heavy and it feels like a little bit of turmoil inside, you know, charged electricity or neurons firing all over, fizziness, anxiety, however we label these things. So yeah, I'd found it really, really difficult to shake this off, and I think it's because I wasn't looking close enough at it, and I wasn't honouring myself enough time for self-care, you know. I was sort of doing my old martyring on jazz. So anyway, lessons learned. But yeah, and just sort of feeling how it's all about this for me, and the more that I can strengthen, you know, and create these waves, and following Dan Winter's work as well. It's longitudinal waves. It's not the latitudinal waves or whatever. You know, it's opening up your heart space, and you know, the science of bliss and all that jazz. And so yeah, and only when we strengthen that aura and we're not vulnerable, you know, yeah, we don't take that energetic hangover, you know, that sludge, that energetic aftermath that you may carry after you know, a mini drama or whatever's cropped on in our consciousness. So yeah, I was super feeling into that, and I'm really sort of jazzed. I found this guy, this new guy that I'm enjoying watching lectures from, and yeah, just again more leaning into syncretism, but not in the way that it's sort of, because if you look up the word syncretism, it didn't feel right to me. It was, well, that's not how I'm feeling about it anyway. It was like it said homogenizing of all religions and beliefs into one, and it's like, no, that's not what it is. I think it's acknowledging that in all religions and beliefs is the one thing, you know, the same story, which feels to me like either instruction or interpretation of the journey within, you know, the hero's journey, the inner alchemy, the transformation, the blah, 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 or however we want to label it. And that filters down in everything. And yeah, it feels to me like things are quite simple, and that personally, I can only speak for myself, but yeah, my mind often complicates things, and you know, perceived intelligence or perceived knowing of something is is a dangerous thing sometimes, you know. So yeah, and I'm just loving the further looking into astrology. And I heard one of my favourite YouTubers the other day, Dolo the Pilot Man. He's brilliant, and he was expressing how what really annoys him about astrology is how some people can use it in a negative way. And it's like he was saying, like the birth chart astrology, it shows you what not to do. It's sort of guidance and keys and markers that actually with the proper eyes on internally, you know, we can help ourselves through these energies. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying looking into astrology further and realising my own ignorance at the start of my journey, when I would be a type of person that would be like, it's because I'm a Capricorn, you know, or it's because I'm such and such a Virgo moon and all my earth energy and all that. And, you know, I over the months of further searching, you know, it's just how naive I was. And I'm really, yeah, I'm just starting to feel the way in my fields, my truth, that these star systems, these planets, these planetary bodies, these alignments, yeah, these alignments actually of the planets as well, just these very specific energies, and finding out, you know, about, well, seeing how astrology is in the Bible as well. And they talk about, I think it was something like the binds of Orion and the sweet influence of the Pleiades and the Mazzaroth, which is the zodiac, the whole circle, the way. And yeah, just sort of seeing the beauty in it all. And I'm feeling like I must remember to try and keep things simple and to not complicate things with this this left side of the brain, this lower mind, this carnal part of the human mind that that causes all the trouble. Yeah, and how often have we said before, it's like heaven and hell is a state of mind, and I think you could only perceive heaven once you've lived in hell, and you could only perceive that when you've realised that, you know, you have a huge hand in creating your own hell. You know, it's levels of consciousness. We can look at it however we want, but there's a real shift happening here on Earth, and we are moving into the age of Aquarius, and there is a great awakening. It's happening. Oh, shit, the battery's going, and it's super exciting. Yeah, and it's a chance to sort of, for me, to really learn and honour and grow within on my own journey, using things like astrology or numerology, or looking through the Bible with a different set of eyes, and everything I see and hear. And we all do this. We all take our own meanings from. And yeah, I'm trying to make and create and continue to find and create and make meaning in my life, in this finite life that I've got, in this vessel here on Earth, you know, because I do feel like if I know anything, it's that your soul and consciousness is eternal. There's nothing to fear about death. So yeah, so it's only ever us that are constricting our own hearts from opening and creating these waves of which we can, you know, interact with God, light, the universe. And and it's really beautiful. But I'd been completely bogged down, and yeah, I feel like I almost feel like a section of the review or the training is complete, and I'm being urged on to the next part, you know, of my own little mission. And it doesn't necessarily have to be purpose. I've been mulling over that word, and people are like, I'm here for a purpose. What's the purpose? Blah, blah, blah. And I love how Adrian Elise always just talks about how the purpose is just to be here and just to be your full expression of your spiritual self, you know, to embody that of which you are in every way possible. Stretch yourself as wide as you can, open your heart, let it emit in these longitudinal waves as far and as powerfully as we can. So that's the purpose, you know, it's no false sort of you know, nothing else. We're all individual, and all we have to do is do what makes us feel good to fill out any kind of purpose. But yeah, I kind of feel sort of I've got a lot of things slotted away, and I've got good things coming, and I'm about to meet up with me mate MJ from All to Love this week as well, and yeah, just it's just super exciting. So I'm out of the sludge finally. I need to carry on speaking shit into these videos because it's so therapeutic. That's why I originally started doing it, and it's why I need to carry on doing it now. When I don't speak, my throat chakra gets blocked up and I have all sorts of shit happen. So yeah, and I have come to a conclusion that I'm going to start another little channel just trying to focus on the astrology and try and teach myself and anyone else who's interested in the basics from the beginning, you know, as I'm going around. And I think it would be useful for anybody who's interested in buying a painting or who's got one already. And yeah, just the more, I mean, it's just endless learning. It's incredible and amazing. Yeah, and I think all it ever is just to get us to acknowledge our own shit. Like, if we continue owning up and acknowledging to our own shit, things just get better and better, you know. It's when we're in denial that and resistance that suffering happens. So, yeah. Anyway, happy Sunday, and yeah, lots of love to everyone.